Hi guys, we made it back safely from the Belize trip. As you may or may not know, we just recently took the show to Belize for 8 days and it was a whirlwind tour. It was definitely an awesome trip, and I vlogged along the way and Joe and the children helped me, so I'm so grateful for that. And I want to show you guys some of the activities that happened while we were there. First, let's start off with when we landed at the airport. Here is Mom's house. We're staying at Shay McNabb's.
Shay Fort Knox.
That's right. Gina says Shay Fort Knox.
Well, you want anything right now? You know what I mean?
Toucan.
Yeah, 4 bears on there. That's
Close too, huh?
Okay, there he is. Margay.
They're very territorial. You're warned if you ever come across them in the bush, find a tree and let them go. Some of them are so smart and they stick around and wait for you. It's another horror. Resonate, and you can hear them from over a mile when they're yelling.
Howler monkey.
Over here, and get one shot when they come up to the sun. When come out, and then go right back down again. But you could stand right over here, get one shot of him coming up to us, towards us. He's going on back again, and then he's going up back, and when he come up back again, you shoot him. There you go.
The macaque?
You would find them mainly on the inland side, for example.
What are you the dog for? What are you the dog for?
Take pictures of the birds only.
Look at this is my YouTube show.
Yeah?
This is
You
my
what?
tour guide. He know me since I was 6, huh Mark?
Wow. The reason why we speak English in Belize, about 300 years ago, the British brought all of our ancestors from Africa to cut this in the jungle. Probably 2 or 3 guys with a whole hands around the base of this tree. And over the last 50 years, they had cut down nearly all the mahogany trees. This used to be the major industry of what was then British Honduras. Today, British princesses come, help plant Mahogany Henry Fairweather, put it back, because one of their trees cost about $6,000 US.
Oh, damn.
So there's a lot of illegal cutting of it going on right now. Haul it out the jungle and take it to the sun. In the New World, where we are in North America, South America, there's about 52. And in Belize, we have about 13 species of parrots. So here we have a white-fronted and red lord. Notice the 2 different species. I believe.
Hello.
They love Jada.
Hello.
Okay.
Okay. That's so cool.
He said it, yeah. Or she said it. Green Lantern.
Green Lantern.
Yeah, they're not going to get that whole way.
About 150, and then they try every crop they could let in pass through. The farmers hate them because they go after the corn, the beans, anything where they could look how destructive.
Here they dig that hole.
What are they? Quash?
Quash.
Pisote in Spanish.
Wet rag or something.
Unfortunately, we kill out all of them. All of them get hunted and killed out. So then one get hatched as little chicks in Panama. Peregrine Foundation send a whole bunch of the little chicks back. So we could try to rehabilitate the forest with them. Unfortunately, people still shoot me for food.
Oh wow.
They eat
These are bigger than the eagles in the United States. The biggest eagles in the world, right here, so you look one.
Oh wow.
Over here, this is the guy, and next door you have the lady. Shh, shh, shh. Come on closer. Come. Come on for breakfast.
Zoom in with this thing.
This is the guy? This is the boy one?
Yeah, look at the size. Look at the size of his talons.
Huh?
Huge, massive.
That would wreck you, man.
There you go.
Oh,
What's your wing?
Out of your skin.
Look at the size of your feet.
wow.
That sound like one bird in a distress. And then when I get all excited because I think food in a brain. Actually, you must be hungry because not. This is the order and feed the whole zoo.
Wow, okay, my phone's a better camera than my camera. Let's just go away.
Hello?
Hi.
I know, long time no see how everything.
You got it?
Okay, that's Junior Buddy. He was born here about maybe 4 or 5 years ago. His mom gone in a postpartum depression, so actually the people at the zoo raised him from he was a kitten. And he's very accustomed to hanging out with humans. Right big though. He look like plastic.
That's a crop.
So they've been around for the last 230 million years.
Yeah,
They're not changed none much at all.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, don't wake that up.
We've got two species, the saltwater croc, and this is the saltwater croc, American croc. Then you also have the mullet crocodile that lives in the freshwater.
Now I want you guys to know that the trip was pretty awesome. But just as it had its wonderful points, it had some of its kind of low moments too. And I'm going to share those with you because I think it makes for a more true and honest trip, and it makes it very colorful. So I want you guys to know that when we went to the zoo, you saw the segment just now that I showed you about the Belize Zoo. Jory kind of got upset because he wanted that jaguar to lick his head. They have an exhibit where you go underneath and they lock you in, and the jaguar will either give you a high five or he'll take his big ugly tongue and lick the top of your head. And I wanted him to have no part of that. Mostly because it was expensive. It was $50 American dollars for that to happen. And we had to feed these kids 3 meals a day for 8 days. So after that, he was kind of pouting for the rest of the trip. That is until we went to the Keys. But that's coming up pretty soon. The capital of Belize, So after leaving the Belize Zoo and on our way to the Mayan ruins, we stopped in Georgeville, Belize to visit my dad's company. The company is called Belacqua, and he actually purifies water and sells the bottled water, okay? So here's our trip to Belacqua. Alright, this is my dad's warehouse, Belacqua. Okay. Oh.
Go in the pool.
My dad's office, and I think we have Wi-Fi here, you guys.
It's protected.
It's protected? Ask them for the code.
Can I just use the computer?
I'm sure.
I mean, you're the daughter of the owner.
Daughter of the owner.
Stop calling people stuff.
Alright, so this is my dad's warehouse. Look, Jada Juice. He named the juice after Jada. Jada Juice. Jada, take some pictures, girl. This is us getting our lunch by the side of the road. So now we're on our way to visit the Maya ruins. This one is called Sunantanich, and it's one of the most popular and one of the oldest Maya ruins in Belize. Take a look at the wonderful time that we spent exploring the ruin. This is the road to the Maya ruins, going to Sunantanich. So we're on the ferry, so we could cross over to go to the Maya ruins. Look how beautiful the water is. Huh? 10 to 1. out this way? Me and Daddy they have to know.
Caribbean plate. And from this region, the Mayans got jade, hard green rock, that they highly valued, like probably more precious to them than gold. On the mountains of the Pacific coast, they get obsidian, black volcanic rock, breaks along the molecular structures of the compound, get on very sharp edges. So that like cuttings. It was the tallest building in all of Belize, built over 1,500 years ago.
I need somebody to come there with me. Come on, Jay.
I'll come with you.
Okay, here we are going up this trail to go climb the Maya ruin. Me and Jade are ruined.
Kill me.
It's hot. But you know what? It's fun.
You gotta swim. You gotta swim through it.
I'm okay. Watch your step. Okay guys, see I'm doing it.
Hey, keep on going.
That was so fun. Okay, Mom, see that?
Hey, Joshua.
Hey, Josh, not Josh. Behind you.
This is what you wanted to do, right, baby? Now, the Maya ruins, the visit to the Maya ruins was actually one of the really bright spots in the trip because we had my friend Mark with us that's actually an archaeologist, not just a tour guide, and he was able to give us a lot of the history about the ruins and stuff. And then, of course, the kids were able to climb it and explore it. I climbed too, but only to the halfway mark. But that's not the story I'm telling, okay? I'm telling the whole world I climbed all the way to the top. Anyways, when we went to Belize, the weather report was that it was going to be torrential rain every day. But we had so many people praying for us, and it actually rained at night with thunderstorms and stuff. But it held up really wonderfully for us to go to the ruins. We didn't have any mosquitoes, any sand fleas or sandflies, no no-see-ums, nothing. The ruins was dry, it wasn't slippery. We were able to climb and explore and have a wonderful, wonderful time. After leaving St. Antonich, we simply had to stop by in Cayo to visit Miriam. Miriam is my Uncle Roger's girlfriend, and she was the one that actually gave me the recipe to the salbutes that I have in first book. And we stopped at her pastry shop that she has, and she fed us some wonderful, wonderful treats. Take a look at her beautiful store. This is what's it called? Bella's Delight. Bella's Delight. And this is the lady who taught me how to do the salbutes out of the book. Awesome pastries made fresh every day. And this is what, Cayo? This is Cayo. This is in the Cayo district in Belize, and here is Bella herself, Miriam. So now we're up to day 2 of the trip, and day 2 and day 3 we were inundated with a lot of television and radio and newspaper interviews about the show and the book, which I really appreciated and enjoyed. But unfortunately for the kids, it was awful because they were kind of locked in the house with nowhere to go, and it was hot. And pretty much they were just like, when is this part going to be over? We didn't think Mom was going to do Bear Pantry show business. But you know what? They kind of sucked it up for me, and they were real troopers. And the payoff in the end was great when the actual, other activities of the vacation started. So my first interview was actually it was a live show. It was one of the morning shows in Belize. The 2 hosts were gracious, and they actually had me sit there for a half hour while they just kind of chit-chatted with me back and forth about the show, how it came about, the book, how it came about. We did raffles of the book and the mug. It was just a really, really awesome setting, and I thank my little friend Tanya for doing the hooking me up with this program, that I was able to do this to help promote the show and the book. In the afternoon on the second day, which is Thursday, I also had a radio interview that I heard went really, really well, because I wasn't able to listen to it on the radio because we had so much things to do later on that day. but a lot of people who heard me on the radio said it came out pretty decent. So I'm really anxious to hear that one day soon. So I just kind of muted the audio on that interview so you could just take a look at how the format was, because the kids actually videotaped that on my mom's TV and the audio wasn't, really a good quality, but what I was saying wasn't important. I was just talking about the show on the boat. I just wanted you to see the format and how the show was run. Now, the next day, Friday, I actually did another TV interview, but it wasn't live. The guy sat like in front of me and did an interview, really in depth. And then he took it back into the studio and he edited it in such a way. I have a promo that I have at my other YouTube show in which I'm promoting the cooking show, and I created that promo specifically because I wanted to take it to Belize to show them what the show is about, right? Well, they cut and spliced that promo so excellently, and they put narration in. The host of the show narrated it. And by the time they were finished with that interview, it was about 3 or 4 minutes long. They showed it in their evening program. By the time they were done with it, and I was looking at it, I wanted to know who that girl was that they were interviewing. I didn't even think it was me. They really made me feel like a little celebrity. So I don't have a copy of that because the kids didn't have the camera ready to videotape it like they did the first one. And they're going to give me a copy. And in the future, I'll go ahead and post it when I get the copy from Belize. But it was done in excellence, and that was from Channel 7 in Belize. They showed it that first evening, and they showed it the next morning, and I think probably the next evening too, because a lot of people saw that, and they were really, really impressed and really proud of the job that I'm doing to represent Belize and the foods. Finally, on day 4 of the trip, we started a little bit of fun activity. My Uncle Roger took us to Key Cocker, one of the more quieter keys in Belize, and it was a very wonderful day over there until I got bit by ants, and then I started swelling up. But I made it, don't worry, I made it. Take a look at the activities that we had at the Keys. Down the streets of Key Cocker. So Josh, how you like your Belize trip?
You don't want like sweet bread and stuff?
What, you guys want to eat? Want sweet bread, anything like that?
Just hot food. That's all I want.
Oh, they want food. Like sandwich or something?
They have high-speed internet.
So the kids are having their mid-morning snack on the Keys. Hey, stop fretting. He doesn't want to go back on the boat.
He's ready for boat.
Look at Jaguar.
Oh, guys.
Look at Jaguar.
Enjoying yourself?
Yes, it's very nice.
So we just came back from Key Cocker in the afternoon, and we're driving down Queen Street, Belize. So the next day, my Uncle Roger took us back to Miriam's in Cayo, but not to the store this time, to her house. where she just served us some awesome, awesome food. And she made a new recipe that she actually gave me for one of my future books and to also to do on the show. When you take a look at this clip of the day that we spent at Miriam's house, you're going to see the meal that she's making. And just know that in the future, I'm going to break it down and make all the components to where you can know how to make each and every piece. And we're going to make it with all different type of meats, okay? But for right now, just look at the way Miriam made it. And in the future, we'll be dissecting it and making it, you know, to suit our own needs. But the day with Miriam was actually so beautiful. She is so giving and kind. And she wouldn't stop feeding us. It was meal after meal after meal, and course after course, and sweets and treats. And what an awesome, awesome day. Miriam, thank you so much for, you know, just giving us a grand time. And that was the day that the kids actually had access to Wi-Fi. So they actually love Miriam, okay? So we're in Cayo, not Cayo, like the Americans say.
This is Santa Elena.
Or Santa Elena. So I'm at Miriam's kitchen, my uncle's beautiful girlfriend. She has so graciously hosted us today. She's making a new recipe. I had her recipe before for the salbutes that's in my first book. She was so generous to give that to me. So this is panucho. And this is just chicken that's cooked, like stewed chicken, and picked off the bone fine, not too much gravy. And she squishes one piece of the masa that we're gonna make salbutes. And she put the chicken inside and then put the covering on, seal the edges. And over here, she's got a little pot going with hot grease that we're gonna fry those panuchos in. And the topping for the panucho is actually the caul for our Belizean tamales. So let's continue as Miriam shows us how to make this panucho. I can't wait. I am so drooling.
And there will be a special old pot.
Oh, I know, I got something like that.
You can't never call it because they won't fry good.
That's who he thinks is the boss of Bella's kitchen.
No, not the boss. I'm the instructor.
Okay, everybody, that's my Uncle Roger. And this is panucho, and the first one is being fried. And it's not supposed to be fried too long, guys. It's like the salbutes. God, I love the salbutes.
You do salbutes, huh?
Love salbutes.
You don't want your brown fire?
You're the kid, man. Get out of we business.
Thank you. And then this is the caul. Yeah, spread it over.
Oh my God, that looks good.
Right.
See, I know me I grasped that. I thought you're just gonna paste it on.
No, you just spread it over. Then you come to the cheese. And then you spread the cheese over this. See? Right? Put as much cheese as you want.
No.
Are you ready to go?
Yeah, man, that's good. You know?
See, like, all right, did it take me to taste the panucho?
Wait, hang on a second. Let's
Hurry
see.
up, because I'm hungry.
Sit down, out.
You got me?
Go ahead.
All right, guys, so I'm tasting the panucho that Miss Beautiful Miriam made for me. My Uncle Roger and Joe had to go run an errand in Benke while we were visiting Miriam because Cayo is pretty close to Benke, and so I sent him with a camera to take some footage. Go ahead and take a look at the beautiful sceneries that Joe took in Benke.
This is Benquevejo de Carmen.
Del Carmen.
Del Carmen. It's the last what we call
Tongue.
it? The last tongue.
Border in Guatemala.
Last border with Guatemala.
That's my border in Guatemala.
Alrighty. We are riding the street of Benque. This is the border that separates Belize from Guatemala. We're entering the Guatemala border right now.
No, we're still in Belize.
We're still in the Belize border right now. So when they cross over, it's going to be Guatemala. So this is the border between Guatemala and Belize.
All right, so please tune in on Thursday because I'm going to have part 2 of this vlog in which I continue our awesome trip to Belize. Until I see you guys again, take care.